this is a great trick as well. You can do this a couple different ways. You can either have an assistant tell you when to stop dealing, or you can actually have somebody else deal the cards down, and you just, real simple, just start dealing cards face down like this until someone were to say stop, and usually at that point I ask them, did I go too far, do you need like a couple more cards down? They say sure, or they're good. Then you grab this portion of the deck and tell them to deal in 4 separate piles. And the great part about this trick is if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to touch these cards at all. I can just have someone else do this based on totally on instruction. And then we say ta-da, and you've just brought all 4 aces to the top of the deck. And that's how it's done. That's a pretty neat trick. You guys are going to hate me if you don't already know this trick or haven't figured it out. It's a great trick, but it is super simple, and it does not feel like magic once it is revealed. But the setup is 4 aces on top. And I started off by just doing a fake shuffle. It's pretty obvious. I just make sure that I have more than 4 cards on here, so the top cards are not going to change. You can do any kind of... I just found that whenever you do a card trick, if you're starting with a setup deck, do a fake shuffle, do a false cut, do both. It just creates the illusion that you're not cheating. But yeah, that shuffle and the cut, I still have the 4 aces on top. And next season, I'm going to go into more card handling. So if you can look this up or just wait for season 2, but it's pretty explanatory. The most simple false cut I like to use is just pulling the bottom of the deck off, squaring them up, dropping them, and then switching hands. If you do it fast enough and smooth enough, nobody's really paying attention. It just looks like a cut. And confidence is the key. Just always be confident. Look people in the eye, too, as you're talking to them, because if you look at them in the eye, they make eye contact, and you can get away with a lot of stuff right under their nose. But anyway, then you just start dealing cards out, and this is just a very self-working trick. There's no fancy moves, because now your 4 aces are on the bottom, and they're the last 4 cards that you set out. So when you start dealing these out, it is just going to end up being the 4 aces on top. It is super easy, but it's a nice little wow trick. Usually not too hard to just set up the deck real quick, because you're not counting down cards, you're not putting them in specific spots. It's just 4 on the top, and it doesn't have to be aces. That just impresses people, but you could do 4s or jacks or anything you want. It's just a neat trick. And like I said before, in the demonstration, you can set up the deck that way. After you do a false shuffle, do a false cut, hand it to somebody, let them do all the work. You just are very clear with your instructions on what to do, and the magic happens in their hands. It's a really neat trick and simple.